Writing with Gray. Today I'm going to talk about my writing fears. I have made a list of 5 things that I am fearful of when it comes to writing. So let's get right to it. Well, shall we? Number 1, judged for spending my time on writing. That is one of the biggest fears that I have, because I can let days go by and all I do is sit and write. And a lot of people don't understand that. I'll give you an example. I'm gonna turn off my phone. I have my list on my phone, that's why I keep looking at it. I'll give you an example. I live on my own in San Jose, but when I come to visit family, I have moments in which, I get inspired and I want to do a little bit of writing, so I sit and I write. And I have my family sometimes is like, what are you doing? Why are you wasting your time on writing? Like, go out and have some fun. This is boring. Like, why would you do this? So maybe it's not just judging, like harsh judging, but the fact that it's there and it brings up negativity is something I'm fearful of. And I think that's why I've become so non-sharing of this side of my life, because I don't really like to share my writing for that reason. I don't like it when people tell me, oh, she's just at home writing, like, I don't know. Or when I tell people, like, oh, I'm gonna go to a coffee shop today. Oh, what are you gonna do at a coffee shop? We're gonna do some homework. What are you gonna do? And it's like, oh no, I'm gonna actually go and do some writing of my own, creative writing. And it's just like, I say it with such enthusiasm, and in the other end it comes back very like, oh, cool, yeah, that's fun, good for you, like, so it's not necessarily fear as much as it is fear. It's fear of letting people know and letting people see, because I'm trying to avoid that judgment call at the end. Number 2 is one of my fears as well, another one of my fears is that I fear being left out and not fitting in. I've come to notice that the more people know about my writing side, they take it as, oh, I'm not fun, or she doesn't want to go out because she's doing writing, or this or that. So it's kind of like, it has nothing to do with that. So yeah, being left out is one of the things, but also being excluded from activities because people know that I enjoy the writing, enjoy my time writing and stuff. It kind of hurts, I guess, in a sense, but at the same time, I don't feel like I fit in a group. Like, I can sit one-on-one with someone and I can have a really, really good conversation, but once that someone becomes a group, I completely shut down. And I think that has a lot to do with the type of person I am and being slightly embarrassed of people knowing my writing side. I mean, if I were to meet you, I'm not one person to say, oh, hey, I'm great, and I like to write as a hobby, because it's not something that I really like to share. It makes me feel like I don't fit in. I'm not doing trendy things. I'm not going out. I'm not partying. I'm not drinking. I'm not socializing. I'm going out to coffee shops. As a 24-year-old, I go to coffee shops, I sit, I read, I write, and I don't necessarily know that that's typical for a 24-year-old. I don't think, by all means. I mean, if there's another 24-year-old out there that does it, more power to us, like, but it isn't my typical self, and I have come to realize that I am excluded from activities because of my personality and because I don't typically fit in. I'm very social, but I'm also antisocial. Introvert, extrovert, I don't know. It's up for discussion. It depends on who I'm talking to and when I'm talking to and how many people I'm talking to. So that's another one of my fears, being left out and not fitting in. Number 3 is being alone. Writing is a very, very lonely job. In a previous vlog, I did read a quote by Stephen King in his book on writing. I actually have the book right here, so I will pull it up. And here it is. Let me take off the sticky. Okay, and this quote says, "Writing is a lonely job. Having someone who believes in you makes a lot of difference. They don't have to make speeches. Just believing is usually enough." being alone. Writing is a lonely job. It is. It's a very lonely job. Again, people don't understand the passion, the concept behind sitting and writing. It's something that I think I can sit and try and make a video about, trying to help people understand what it's like to be a writer, but you can't understand it. You're alone. You're alone. You're alone in stress, frustration, imagination, everything. So it kind of consumes you in a sense too. Writing, a lot of people say, well, if you like writing and you're doing it, it should be fun. It's not. It causes a lot of stress, and it causes a lot of shutdown, especially in my person. I sometimes don't want to do things. I don't want to go out because I'm completely shut down, and it's overwhelming. It drains my energies out mentally and physically because it takes so much work. So yeah, it kind of ties into number 2, which was not fitting in. And I guess being used to being alone is not fitting in. I'm not going to fit into a group of people when I'm so used to being alone in my writing space. And I've tried to do the best that I can to separate the two, where I have my writing space and I have my outgoing life. But it's still fear, and it's still there. So being alone is really, I guess it's up to me, and at the end of the day, and whether I choose to be alone or not, the day will determine. But it is a fear that I guess the fear comes from choosing to be alone and choosing to write, to where one day that will be my reality. Because I know I'm not alone now. I mean, I have friends, I can go out, I can do stuff, but sometimes I choose to be alone, and I don't want that to become my reality. So it is fearful. Number 4. This is a big one, and it ties back to the quote that I just read from the Stephen King book. No one believing in you. It's hard for people to see what you're seeing, to want what you're wanting, and to just want to be able to express things through your writing. You know, I have an idea. I'm working on a project. I have this idea mentally, but I can sit and I can talk to you about this, and you're gonna think it's gibberish because you don't understand. You don't have the desire. You don't have the want, the passion that I have. We don't share that. We don't have that in common. So it becomes a little bit like, well, I won't believe it till I see it, you know? And the process is so long that sometimes I fear that no one will believe, you know? No one will believe in me, and it's very upsetting. It's a very upsetting feeling, and it's something I fear constantly. Not only that, but with not believing in you come the people that do believe in you. I can probably count the people that do believe in me on one hand, and it is just, it brings it to a different kind of fear, where I'm fearful that I'll disappoint, that I will fail, that at the end I don't even believe in myself, that I fail to these people, you know? And believing in myself has been one of the most difficult, challenging things that I've had to face. I haven't believed that I'm a good writer for a very long time, but it's something that I have to start working on for myself. I have to start working on believing in myself, and I will. And hopefully these vlogs not only help you, but they also help me in that sense, because if I'm not my number one fan, who will be, you know? And that leaves me with number 5. The 5th one is running out of writing ideas. That is one of the most difficult things. I, alongside writing or working on this novel thing that I'm trying to do for NaNoWriMo, I write poetry, and I encounter this feeling way too often. I don't have anything to write about today. I'm not feeling poetic enough, per se. What if today is just the first day of a very long time that I won't pick up the pencil because I feel like I don't have that drive. I don't have the imagination needed all of a sudden. So this fear is constant. This fear is what's going to happen tomorrow if I don't have anything to write. You know, today I took a day off and tomorrow I just might not feel like it. And the fear of everything else that comes to that that I mentioned comes together, you know, being judged, being left out, not fitting in, no one believing in you, and what was the other one? I think that was it. No, oh, and disappointment. When all those things tie in, is like, and that fear is overpowering, it's kind of like, I don't want to write anymore. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel this negativity. I want to write, and I want it to be positive for my own sake, because everything else is just too, it's overwhelming. It's too much for myself to handle. So given that everything ties in and I close up, I sometimes just want to throw in the towel, and I'm fearful of that, because I don't want to throw in the towel for something that I completely love, and it's just a feeling. I'm not saying that I've thrown in the towel. Yes, I've taken a step back from my writing because it gets so overwhelming, and it's just very, it needs a lot of patience. Patience is a virtue when it comes to writing. Nothing's gonna happen from one day to another, and it's patience and more patience and more patience. That's all I have for that one. But yeah, these have been, it was a list of 5, but I think I mentioned 6 things that I fear with my writing, or I think that's what it was. I'm fearful when it comes to writing, and yeah, I hope some of these may help you out. Others may make you feel like you're not alone in this writing process, that you two share the same feelings with me. I don't know. Let me know down below if you are a writer. Let me know, what are you fearful when it comes to your writing? Are you fearful of anything for that matter? Or do you just believe in yourself 100%? Do you have a support system? Do you not have a support system? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. If you are not a writer, feel free to leave any type of comment below and let me know. Are you afraid of anything? And if so, what are you afraid of? But that will do it for today's episode of Writing with Gray. Thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully on Thursday I will have a new Writing with Gray episode up. I'm trying this Tuesday, Thursday uploading schedule and see how it works. But until then, thank you so much for coming on this journey of my own, and don't forget to go on your journey of your own. I will see you next time. Bye!